like the door is open. This is where I keep the ghosts in the hallway so they can just walk on in and surprise me. How to be a leader and roll over everybody else. So why would you want to be a leader? It seems like a lot of work that's unnecessary. Being a leader is key to doing less over the long run. Do you ever resent your boss and you think, well, they have it so easy, and here I am in the trenches working so hard while they're just looking down on me? They have already done their work. You can set up the same thing to make your life go easier. One of the awesome things about being a leader is creating a hierarchy. You get to put people in place who are going to help you, who are going to stand on either side as your equals, and you can cut out absolutely everybody else that doesn't serve you. Yes, your own little fiefdom, your own little kingdom is here for you. It's actually really easy to be a leader because nobody wants to do it. And if this is clearly the lane that you're going in, no one's going to pull into that lane. No one's going to run you off the road. Nobody really wants to lead or really has the tools to do so. Very few people, actually. This is why religion is such a thing. People like to be led. They like to be told what to do. They like to be led. They like predictability, showing up, doing the same thing, going home. Being a leader can be a little overwhelming at first until you build that hierarchy. And then people will be scrambling to help you out. They won't even realize why. Dress like you're already the boss. This is the easiest part. Dress like you're already the boss. Go above and beyond. Be super formal. Look like you've been at that business for about 15 years. Doesn't matter if it's your first day. You should look like this on your first day. You should look like corporate has come to visit. People do judge people by how they dress. And if they're going to judge you as, oh man, that person looks like they know what they're doing, I better keep up. I better look good. I better keep my nose down and do my job. Yes, that's what you want. Because you'll want really quickly to figure out who's here to work and who's here to blow time until they go home. You don't care about people who blow time. You need people to work at work, especially because you're going to exploit this. So you need to know who's there to work. Volunteer to do all the hard stuff first. At first. For a little while, probably, this is about a 90-day window. You're going to have to just do all the things. You're going to have to be super knowledgeable about the company. You're supposed to be aware of inventory. You're supposed to be aware of rules and regulations. You're supposed to be aware of which coworkers are doing their job and which are not. This can be so stupidly simple, such as, hey, do you need me to take out the trash? Volunteer for things nobody wants to do. Do you need me to replace the toilet paper? Things that no one will. Learn to answer the phone. Kind of the fastest way to build your own little kingdom in your work is to kind of get there ahead of if there's going to be a flock of new hires. So you want to make sure that if it's seasonal, that you are already secured before there's an influx of new people, because you want those new people to think that you've always been there, that perhaps you're a manager, perhaps you are the owner. They don't know. You've been there since day one. And the faster you figure out everybody else's tasks, the new people will go, oh, you look like you're a boss. Hey, how do I do the thing? And I say, steal this. I say, well, I'm not going to do it for you, but I'll show you how. And you can quickly get a reputation for the person to go to figure very base level things. Where does this go? How do I do that? Not that you're doing the work of two other people. Again, delegate. I'll show you how. I'm not going to do it for you. And I'll be like, you good? Okay, bye. This is for people who are already good at their job. You can't be a leader and suck. You have to be really good at least one thing. At least one thing. I am very good at describing things. Using words. Using words helps me in terms of getting a lot of things done, convincing people that I know what I'm doing, convincing people about the product that I'm selling. even if I don't know anything about anything, good with words. And a head for inventory, so I know what we have that I'm trying to sell people. Do I know how to work the register? No. Do I know the history of what I'm trying to sell them? No, I don't care. But I can say, what are you looking for? Cool, let me describe this thing in the most flowery prose possible. And this is going to be what you want. And they go, oh, wow, it's exactly like you described it. And they take it and go. That kind of streamlines what I do daily. So I'm not spending 10 minutes with a customer. I'm spending maybe 3 at max. Not even 2. That frees up my day to not be hassled. Like, I'm not in a position where I can go home early, I can sit in a corner, I can do whatever, but I don't have to be on it. I can be on it when there's something going on in front of me, but not at all times. When I first started this job, I had a ton of problems with a ton of people. None of these people work there anymore. Ha! So to most of the staff, I have always been the person that's in charge. I have, on a daily, at least one customer come up to me and say, hi, are you the manager? And I go, what do you need? You don't want to piss off your management by saying, oh yeah. I make a joke. I'm like, haha, I'm the CEO. Haha, I'm loss prevention. Haha. I make a very fine point to not step on anybody's toes with humor. And that can be really hard for a bunch of people. Like, being a leader, I feel, isn't something that you can cultivate. It is part of the entrepreneurial spirit, and you either have it or you don't. It's a lot of micromanaging that goes on in your head almost instantaneously, that if you're built for it, cool. Hey, if you're one of those people that's like into puzzles and Legos, management is for you, because it's a lot of minutia to organize. I now have, with all these people who are problematic gone, a fleet of people who come into work to do my bidding. They aren't aware that they're coming in to do my bidding, but they come in, are excited to see me and go, what do you need? I have like at least 6 lower level employees that are just thrilled to see me every day and say, what do you need? Can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this? And I go, here's all these things for you to do. Hey, good job. I believe in you. Cool hair. I went through a lot of rough periods at this job because nobody knew me. And I was a little reckless pursuing one thing: respect. A lot of people go into work, particularly at lower level jobs, wanting to make friends, wanting to be part of a social circle. And that might have been a vague impulse at the beginning. I quickly went, these people are not on my level. This is not a place to shop for friends. So I pursued respect, and I became very good at my job very quickly, and had a lot of people seem stunned by that, as if I was gunning for their positions, if I was trying to make them look bad. They look bad all on their own. They didn't need me. Was it my goal to make them look bad? Yes. But it wasn't hard. If you're good at your job, the people who just aren't are just going to be very, very obvious. And it's not that you need to point anything else. It's not that you need to point anything out. It will be evident to people who are the actual people in charge as to why are you on such a steep trajectory and somebody else is just sort of like petering out. You have to kind of build an environment that is tailored to you. If this is your goal, is to know I am going to be the acting president of this establishment, you have to weed out people systematically, which is what I've done. If there's someone in management who's just holding everyone down, get rid of them, get them fired. If there's a coworker that isn't, you know the bad eggs, you know the bad apples at your job, in your social circles. Like, you know the people who are just a downer, who just gunk up everything. And your goal as a leader is to eject them. If you cannot fix them, and you can't fix people. You can't fix people. People just are as they are, and they fix themselves. What if I told you they can only fix themselves? You can't save anybody. You can't help anybody out. They have to do it themselves. But isn't that heartless? I don't care. I don't care. There's 1,012 channels that you can go and pump yourself up. If people are not pumping themselves up, if they're just watching filters on TikTok, you're a loser, and I will either eject you or you're going to be working for me and you don't even know that you are. You have to be super aware of everything that you do. You have to be aware of body posture. Body posture. I try to be super casual in my body posture in juxtaposition with how formal I look. I look like an approachable boss. I look kind of like Tony Stark, where it's like I can be in the suit, but I'm also in sneakers. I am the person to come to. Am I the person to come to with problems about their lives? No, absolutely not. And this is where I butted heads with a bunch of people initially. It's like, I am not the touchy-feely, grab some Kleenex, or cry it out in the back kind of person. No. I am, what's wrong? What do you need me to fix? You go over there, you come over here, and this is just the new arrangement of how people do things. Is everybody happy now? Does this work? Is everybody cool? Awesome. This is just how it's going to go. And if management comes and asks why we're doing this, I'll just tell them that we have a system. I have managers come up to me now and say, "You're my favorite person that works here." I have no idea why. I don't feel that I'm very likable for a bunch of reasons, so that I now have, not only have I gotten a bunch of people fired, people are coming up and saying how much they appreciate me, goes to show that this is the right method to do things. You can be liked or you can be respected. One of my instructors in college told me once, the only thing that holds someone back from success is their desire to be well liked. And it has taken me a long time to take that to heart and fully realize that that is 100% true. 1,000% true. You have to show up early and stay late. This isn't going to last. You have to take on additional tasks. This won't last. You have to deal with a lot of people's problems to a degree, not personal problems. Not personal problems at work. I don't care about people's personal problems at work. I care about work problems at work. And none of this is going to be fun until you can build a hierarchy. It's going to seem like a lot of extra pressure that you've put on yourself to be a leader at a company maybe you don't care about. Maybe you're not going to be around for that long. It doesn't matter. If you can bang through in the beginning that you're the person who is the expert, the person to go to for questions about stuff, questions about things, not questions about people's problems. I don't work in a therapy office. Questions about how to do stuff. I know how to do stuff. You can't be messy. This is why I don't care about people's problems at work. As soon as you have like this personal sort of relationship with people, it can be sort of tempting to let people's emotional state dictate how you go about your work day at work. And I don't believe in that. This is 100% a thing that I take from men who work in offices. Men don't give a shit about how you feel. They don't care. You think they're not crying, "What did she mean by this text?" No, that's not a thing that they talk about at work. At work, no. And if you are too tangled in your coworkers' personal lives, it can get really messy really fast. And you don't have time for that because you're here for money. Here for money. Here for money. Social circles are for being social. Work is for money. It is going to be rough at first because people aren't really going to realize what you're doing. It's just going to seem like you're sort of being a hard ass, that you're here to just move up in the company. Well, maybe you don't care. But a few weeks or a few months of being put out compared to the rest of your career, just smooth sailing, clear skies, calm seas, is totally worth it. Totally worth it. Because the people who were there before you will remember how hard you worked initially. And the people who came after, you are an established figure that has always been there. That they are they go to you. You are the person that they go to with their work problems because you are the anchor. You are what holds everything down. And once you have that solidification of your role in that company, and the people before know and the people after know, you can just sit back. You can largely just sit back and delegate. But you still look professional. If there's an emergency, you are still the one to go to. You cannot slack on your authoritative energy. You can slack on how fast you do things, whether or not you give tasks to other people, but you cannot slack on that energy. You want to give the impression at all times if something's going awry, you are still the person to bring to the forefront, because that makes you indispensable. And the most indispensable person at work is going to be given a lot of leeway. They'll say, hey, I need to change my schedule. And they're just so thrilled to have you at all. They're like, what days you want? Because a lot of people don't have this innate leadership sensibility, I don't think that anyone looks at this as, one, problematic, or two, something that anyone's actively pursuing, because you can't have a bunch of leaders. You can't have a bunch of leaders at top and just a couple of people that work on the bottom. That's not how it works. A hierarchy goes up the ladder. Is this manipulation? Kind of. Is this slacking off at work? Kind of. Is it beneficial to everybody in this company? Absolutely. Is this malicious? No. If you're there to work, the people around you will work. And in some ways, you are lessening other people's burdens, because there's nothing more hellish at work than when nobody's aware of what their roles are and there's just a bunch of conflicting information. If you are like the pillar of rock solid awareness and nothing changes, you are always there, you are always giving the same advice, you are the person to come to, you have all the answers. It's easy. It's easy for everyone, because there's sort of like, you're a stopgap for the bullshit. Thou shall not pass. You've set up your little kingdom to run so efficiently and so smoothly that there's no room for garbage. There isn't. And it will be very clear very quickly, and I see this with a lot of new hires, that this ain't the place for that shit. Not the place. Not the place. And people who come here for drama and garbage, they are gone almost instantaneously. I don't even know what their names are, because I hadn't seen them that long, but I'm like, oh, they gone. They realize this is not the place. You're never going to be more pumped to do a job than when you first start. So you might as well front load all your troubles and your stress right there, so that there's nothing but your responsibilities just go down. They go down. They start off really high, but they go down really quick. This was how to be a leader. Get out there, do better, succeed. Make everything easy, make everything streamlined, make everything calm. Let other people scramble. You're here to make money. Sit back, let the money come, let the problems go away.